You're listening to the Awkward Pillow Talk podcast. I'm your host, Jason Class, along with my wife, OnlyFans model and self-proclaimed awkward chick, Stephanie Class. We're here to get the awkward stuff out of the way. This podcast is a true representation of our journey through anxiety and learning to love sex. If any of that offends you, we'd like to say, fuck you. Welcome back to another episode of Awkward Pillow Talk. You know, I just finished my first full bottle of Popstar.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can tell the difference, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, haven't tasted it yet, but
Time will come.
we'll see.
I'm telling you, somebody's just got to pay you enough to do it.
We'll see. But I could tell, like, in the amount, in the consistency, in the...
Yeah, it's wild. Like, I never, like...
It's weird how, like, in a good way weird.
Yeah, I like the brand a lot, too. And I don't, like... Well, first off, I like it because obviously what it does, but, like, something about just that, like, Popstar thing. I don't know. I like it. So
Yeah.
That's why I keep pushing it. Like, I haven't made any money off of it.
Nope.
But I just kind of like the vibe of it. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think that's what I'm allowed to do now. Like, if I got, you know...
You can like a vibe.
I can like a vibe and just go with it. Just like I liked the vibe of Squirtopia.
Right.
And I reached out to them. And,
Yeah,
like, holy shit. Like, we've just missed out on so much because we've been so close-minded.
Right. Or,
like,
like, just so afraid to, like...
expand our territory. Like,
Right.
I know it sounds so stupid, right? Like, people are going to be like, what do you mean? It's just a fucking blanket. No, like, the amount of times that it has saved us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that extra, like, you know what it's like a minute
Yeah.
of sex where you're like, oh, let me go stop everything I'm doing to go
Get a towel.
or
Like,
change
so
something
you can't-
around.
Yeah, I don't want to do this right now because, you know, I don't want to make a mess.
Yeah, it's literally, like, my only qualm with it is that we don't have two.
Right.
Because...
I wish it was bigger.
And a little bigger, but, like, honestly, material-wise, it's
pretty legit.
Pretty legit. So, thank you to Squirtopia. Like,
Yes, thank you.
Again, these are these things that I'm like, I would have found dumb if I heard somebody else promoting them to me.
Right.
So I understand if people think that I sound dumb while I'm promoting them.
Oh, well,
but
I mean,
I'm telling you, like, just try it. I don't sell shit. I refuse to sell shit that I do not believe in.
Right.
I've been that way from day one, and I've always been a fantastic salesman because I don't have to lie.
Right.
I just truly feel passionate about things.
Yeah.
And this is like, I don't, again, I'm not even an affiliate with them.
Right.
I have nothing to gain from it other than just saying, I really like them. You should check them out.
Right.
So go check it out. Squirtopia. Popstar, again, two brands that are just really cool, and they share a lot of really good stuff on Instagram too.
Yes.
Both of them. Squirtopia shares a lot of funny stuff, but Popstar shares a lot of, like, really informative stuff.
Well, they also share funny stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, the informative stuff I like. You know, sex education is something that you and I have started to kind of, like, get into, and not just, like, anatomy education, right? But, like,
it's like just
the historical side of it. Like, let's look at society as society's history with sex.
Like breaking those norms of, like, oh, you thought you were supposed to do this or you weren't supposed to do this, and they're, like, debunking some of this stuff.
So we started this new series just as, like, a side project for us because, like, I started finding fun stories, and, like, you guys, they're gonna laugh at us because, like, we have sex 5 times a day, but, like, at the end of the night, I like when she, like, finds funny stories and shit and reads them to me. Right. You know what I mean? Like, or shows me her memes for the day, whatever I've saved, like,
from the reels.
We kind of read to each other in a sense, I guess. And we started finding these stories and started reading them to each other. And then I did, like, a monologue of it, essentially.
You started, like, reading it out.
And, like, you listened back to it and, like, you were totally captivated by, like, the 5-minute video that I made. And you're like, okay, we should probably put some effort into this.
Right.
So we've recorded, like, what, 7-10 episodes?
Yeah, something like that. I guess
something like that.
The two of us, yeah.
Of awkward XXX history. And it's really interesting because we get to dive into, like, the, you know, kind of the psyche of some famous people. Like Charlie Chaplin was super into feet.
Right.
And apparently, if you go into like some of his old silent films, you could actually like see that he references feet a lot.
Interesting. Okay.
Napoleon Bonaparte,
right.
super into his wife Josephine's BO.
Right.
Like would write these letters from the battlefield.
Right.
Basically being like, yo,
Don't bathe.
do not bathe, be stinky.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mozart was obsessed with like poop and eating ass, and fart jokes in general.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's like a lot of weird just stuff, and then we started getting into the civilizations too, right? Like we're looking into like the Roman Empire, Egypt, and y'all,
and like how they like not treated everybody, but like.
And I'm not sure if it makes us feel better about ourselves, but it does make you realize that this is just human nature, y'all.
Right, it has been around for that long, and that like it's not something to be like ashamed of. Like, yes, these people maybe they were ashamed or whatever, or maybe everyone just thought it was normal, and then somewhere along the way, society then all of a sudden deemed something weird or not normal, and now we have these stigmas, and it's just like,
let's have fun with it again.
Just let people be happy.
And that's kind of brings us to like how we got into our first Hotwife experience.
Yeah.
So I thought that this would be a good time to talk about it because I'm sure we've alluded to it. I think we've even mentioned part of the hotel story when you first got into it. But I wanted to dive a little deeper now that, first off, I think understand our story a little better.
Right.
Which sounds funny because you're like, yeah, you lived it, but no, like being able to put that distance between us, getting out of that anxiety, and just being able to like look back on it through videos.
Right.
We could really tell just night and day. Like,
oh, yeah.
I don't want to say that we're professional now by any means, but you can tell then we were excited, we were scared, we were nervous.
We thought we knew what we were doing.
We thought we knew what we were doing. I had too many lights. Like, oh my God, do you remember all the lights I used to take everywhere?
Yeah, it was a lot. Now we have what, like 2?
Yeah, which I mean, I would take more if we're being honest.
But I mean, like if we're going to a hotel for the weekend, we probably only need.
Speaking of light, I forgot to turn that light on. So.
Yeah. Do you want to go turn it on, or are you gonna mess it all up?
No, let me turn it on.
Okay. Oh, that's because I turned it off earlier because it was really bright in here.
Oh, so it wasn't my fault.
No, it was probably mine, but like it was hurting my head. So.
Ugh.
Don't mess up.
So. I guess we'll dive into like the idea, right? So we've talked to everybody about how the first Virgin came about.
Right.
So when we decided that we were going to do that, we decided, hey, if we're going to do it, like, let's just
do it.
Do it.
Like we did. Like
actually, I think it went another way. I think we had decided at first, before we even like, we had somebody reach out about the virginity thing, and that was like in the back of our head. But then we were like, I think we just need to do some filming with other people.
Yes.
So we went onto Reddit essentially, and we started looking for people to find.
Right. We said, hey, we're going to get a hotel this weekend in this location.
You got to be willing to sign forms. You can't sketch out on us.
You got to provide ID ahead of time. And
very clear. And we ended up with like 12 people messaging that were like, yep. And I had a whole fucking spreadsheet ready to go. And I was like,
time slots. Like it was like a whole
You were getting fucked like 6 times on Saturday. And we were like, I was like, are you sure you can handle it? And you're like, I don't know.
I was like, I guess we're going to find out. Like,
I was like, do you want me to like cancel some? You're like, no.
I was like, sorry to the guy who's number 6 on Saturday. You're going to get tired of me. But like, we knew we only had so, much time. And
we decided like once we were going to get into like bringing in people, first off, we decided that we wanted to work with amateurs in general. So once we basically started getting all these responses from people, we had the time slots filled up, and then you were supposed to get, fucked 6 times in a day and like 4 times the night before. I don't remember what it was, but we definitely knew that people were going to cancel.
Right. And I think that's why I was like, yeah, sure, 6 is fine, because inevitably at least 1 or 2 was going to cancel.
Our plan, the way that we had it scheduled, was that we were going to start with a virgin.
Okay.
And it was going to be a virgin at 8 p.m. on Friday night.
That's right.
And then we had somebody coming at 10 p.m.
Yes.
on Friday night. So it was 2 Friday, and then we had the 6 Saturday, and then I think there was 2 more maybe that we had Sunday planned.
Maybe.
Something like that. I don't know.
I don't remember exactly.
So the virgin that we were talking to, the one that like got this whole fucking thing started off, we get to the hotel, and he sends a text message saying, "Hi, I got into a car accident," which is like the most, maybe he did, I don't know. It's a bullshit excuse if you ask me. So I was immediately like, well, that fucking sucks.
Because we literally got the hotel for this reason.
So I messaged the guy that was supposed to be coming later in the evening, just hoping that like he would be down still. And he messages back and goes, "Not sure. My parents are in town and not sure when they're leaving."
That's right.
And I was like, motherfucker, I have a whole fucking Friday night in a hotel that with all these lights, which obviously like we were going to film and fuck each other, but like we had a mental state of just something totally different.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, let me know as soon as possible. And at this point, we started getting everybody else the next day started canceling on us. And we're like, what the fuck is happening? And we literally have this one guy that's a maybe for that night, the one that's parents are supposed to be there. And then I get a message on Reddit from somebody else that wanted to be part of this originally.
Okay.
And then didn't want to fill out the forms.
Okay.
But he was a virgin.
Right.
So he reaches out to me and goes, "Hey, look, I thought about it again." And you know what? Actually,
you still have it?
I have the text messages.
That's funny. That's not creepy at all.
I saved all of them recently. I went back and found all of them so that we could have a little bit of a clearer history of what we have going on. So one of the guys, I'm not going to go in any particular order. This is a guy that did not meet up with us. And I do remember he tried many times after this, but like we basically said that anybody that ghosted us over this weekend was done because they had just led us on for so long.
Right.
And then ghosted. But this guy, you know, he was like, I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, just checking in to make sure we're still good." He goes, "Hey, sorry, might have to cancel. Unexpected things came up that I have to take care of. Hope you guys understand. If things turn around, I'll definitely message you." And then another one who was supposed to be a virgin, sent the address and then just nothing. Never even read the address.
Jeez. Probably deleted his account.
Yep. Here's another one. I'm like, "Hey, here's the address." I was like, "You good?" He goes, "Yeah, it'll only take me like 5 minutes to get there." I was like, "Awesome." And then he goes, "Hey, they switched me to 12-hour shifts, so I won't be able to come out today. But I'd still love to help you all at some point." And I was like, "Yeah, that's not going to work. Like, we needed
it today. Or today, whatever it was."
So then this is the message I get from virgin number 1.
Right.
Well, first off, let's back it up because when we had that Reddit post going,
right,
he was one of the ones that reached out there. So the conversation started with that Reddit post,
right?
And he reached out to you. I'm not sure what you said on Reddit because that has been deleted. But once it came to me, I have that conversation. I said,
right,
"Hey, this is Dan Yeager's husband. I heard you were interested in meeting Saturday morning at 10.
Right.
And he goes, "Hey, what's up?" I said, "Before we go through the details, can you send me a verification picture, current pic with the camera app directly through Kik?"
Right.
That way we know it's a real person and not just somebody that, you know, did it. He did. He sent me his picture. It's right there still. Not a great picture, but he sent a picture.
He did a picture.
And I said, "Awesome, you're local." And he goes, "Yep. So how does this go down?" And I go, "Perfect. Well, the spot is yours. First thing, this is our first time doing this kind of thing. So be patient with us. I'll send you the hotel address on Friday. You don't have to last long. Part of the fun for the video will be me directing the action. So you just need to be willing to listen. You don't have to worry about her coming or anything. She will get hers when she's ready. We also don't want a marathon session or for you to try to fuck her as hard as possible. Does that all sound feasible so far?" And then I send him a copy of the release forms. I said, "These are the forms." He responds and says, "I don't see the part where it says that my identity will not be revealed in the video." And I said, look, those are just the forms that are required by the sites that we upload to. I was actually planning on creating an addendum for the face part, but I just haven't yet. To be quite honest, though, nobody is watching the video to see your face. So I have no motivation to change my mind and all of a sudden let people see your face.
Because at the time I was faceless too. So
he goes, I see what you're saying, but that's a deal breaker for me. The fact that I was being filmed was a big deal, but I thought my face won't be shown. I was sick of still being a virgin, LOL, but I don't think I'll be able to do it having my face shown. I said, you may have misunderstood. I will not be filming your face. I have no desire to film it. That's not the point of the video. He said, you can't guarantee that for me. When she told me that there are forms that would be signed, I thought the no face part would be included. That was my only condition. I am really sorry to waste your time, bro. I said, no problem, but hey, do me a favor at least and comment on the next post that we post, just saying that we're real and legit. Because we were having so many people at the time being like, you guys are obviously fake. You haven't met with anybody. And he goes, yeah, I'll do that on Reddit. And I was like, yep. It said, it'll be posted after 6 p.m. This is what the post is going to look like. And it was just a picture of your pussy.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of like a, hey, please just be nice still. Like,
don't be a dick.
Yeah. And I could tell he was real because he was giving me like real questions back.
Right.
And sometimes you can get fake stuff, but like you could tell that there was just something different. And he goes, okay, last question. Why are y'all looking for virgins? I said, she's timid herself, and we hate dudes that consider themselves bulls. She's patient, and the thought of being someone's first is a turn on. He goes, oh, nice. And I said, I just made the post. He goes, okay, just tell me what you want me to say. And I think he copied and pasted it. So that was, that was August 26th at 7 p.m. essentially was the last time I talked to him.
Okay.
And then August 27th at 8 p.m., so 25 hours later.
Yep.
Hey, I changed my mind. Is it too late now? I said, maybe not. I don't have 10 a.m. still, though, because we had somebody
cancel.
He goes, I'll do that. I said, any chance you can do 10 p.m. tonight? He goes, depends where. And I tell him where. And he goes, I can't. It'll have to be tomorrow. Magically, 10 a.m. just canceled. Would that still work? That's what I said to him.
Oh, wait.
So originally, he wanted 10 a.m. We already had somebody in it. He messaged 10 a.m. canceled. And I was able to give it to him all within 30 minutes.
Jeez.
So he goes, I'm fine with 10 a.m. I send the address. I said, just message me in the morning when you're on your way. And he goes, perfect. I said, I finished going over the rules. No anal, no kissing. COVID at the time was still very real.
Right.
Condom required. We will provide it. Just be willing to listen and take direction. She'll be nervous, so she's either going to talk your ear off or be super quiet. The way it'll work on Saturday is you'll show up, preferably on time or a little early, and message me on here that you were at the hotel. I'll come out and get you. You'll come back to the room and fill out the paperwork, provide your ID, and then basically get down to business. Once you finish, you're done. You can leave. He says, okay. I said, the main idea for the scene is she'll sit on the couch with you while we start filming and talk a little. She'll start grabbing your dick through your pants to make sure you're good and hard. Once you get there, she'll either offer to suck you off or ask you to go in her. The first penetration is the most important shot, so you'll have to be patient. She will probably be on her back with her legs spread. If you want to taste her before going in, you can, but it's not necessary. Depending on how long you last, we will also get a video of her on top and you from behind. Not a priority, though. Once you come in the condom, you're done. He goes, the part with the couch. Is the face going to be in it? Because I remember you saying you have no desire to film my face, but all sounds good. I said, no face. And then he goes, 10 minutes away. I say, she's just now in the shower. Just hang in the parking lot for a minute, and I'll let you know when I'm on my way down to get you. Come to the door on the right side of the building, and I'll let you in. And he goes, okay, here. I said, okay, headed down, meet you at the door in 60 seconds. And he goes, I think there's a door at each side. Which one? I said, on the right side, if you're looking at the entrance. Okay, here. And then I send a message afterwards. I said, thanks again for coming by. She had fun. I'll send you the video once I finish editing. And he goes, I am glad she did, and I had a good experience, to be honest. I'll be waiting.
That's awesome. See, I don't remember a lot of that.
Yeah, so I remember, too, when he came in, and we told him, he came in, he sat down, he was obviously nervous, he was like shaking.
Yeah, and you could hear it in his voice. And
Yeah, but I remember when he took his pants off, he folded his pants and underwear and put them very neatly away. Whereas I think I don't think anybody else has ever done that. I think everybody else has just kind of like
I feel
let
like
it
there
drop.
was one other guy that kind of like put it.
Number 4 actually may have. I think he
may have
he
too.
may have. But
17 was pretty methodical too about it.
Okay, you're right. Maybe there was more than I thought, but he was the first one. That was like one of the things that just like stood out to me. But
I remember that.
So that wasn't the first experience though, right? That was actually the next morning. Right. The first experience, the first ever Hotwife experience, was that dude that was like, "Hey, not sure if my parents are going to leave."
Right.
So all of a sudden he gets a message, and I think we were out to eat at the time. Yes. Get a message. He was like, "Hey, I can leave now and I can be there in an hour." And it was like it would put him there at like 10:30, I think, or something. It's a little later than we wanted to be like, you know what? Rest of the day is fucking shot. Let's do it.
Right, because at the time we didn't know there was going to be a 10 a.m., did we?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But
so I went and sent him the address, and we were like, let's just get this done. He shows up. Younger dude, I think he was like 20. Early 20s for sure.
Right.
And he came up, he signed the forms, and like we told him, like, look, all you got to do is like, she's going to be doggy on the bed. Just go. And it was literally it. It was just you sitting there waiting, and then he was already rock hard, obviously, because like the situation was just hot.
Right. He was ready.
And then he just starts fucking you.
Yep.
And he did not come. So he actually lasted a while because, I mean, to be fair, it's a lot of fucking pressure.
It is a lot of pressure.
We didn't know what the fuck we were doing, so I'm sure our nerves were like emanating into him. And we still have nerves from it, but like
it was a different kind of nerves.
Yeah, like
that was the first time filming with anybody other than you.
Yep.
And really, it was like, I don't know, it was just a big, not production, if you will, but like
it was a mental block that we had to get over. So like it was cool, but he's still in contact with us. We've tried to like get other things going with him, but he always bails. They're all flaky. It's fine.
I mean, we're also in a different state now, so like I get it.
Like look, nothing personal with anybody, but like it's always, you know, we try. Everybody's always like, oh, you bring him back. Like it's just not that easy. Like we can't. And I mean, not to mention, like, even when we need to get a hold of these people for like important things like forms to like, you know, feed our family because we can't sell their content, they just block us. Yeah. So that's like what we're dealing with right now is essentially these, you know, virgins that we can't sell videos for because the rules changed. We're like, hey guys, we just need a signature from you. That's it. We're not trying to like reintroduce your face to the world. We're not trying to do anything. You know, the video is respectful. You've told us how much has changed your life.
Right.
And then you're going to block us and not allow us to do it. So, I mean, it's not even that we can't sell it because we have platforms we can sell it on. It's just OnlyFans that we can't. So, I mean, I'm not going to be a dick, but like, as number 1 did mention, there is nothing in the contract that says I can't show their face.
Right.
But again, I'm not going to say that. All I will say is I really, really do hope that you reach out to us.
If you are one of the ones we have been trying to get a hold of.
Yep. Number 1.
2.
2.
3.
3.
14.
14.
Those are the ones that we need some help with again, guys. But no, I remember there was another guy that same night. I remember because it was night because I was tired. And he, I guess, messaged and said he was coming.
That was the next morning.
No, it was nighttime because I remember you sat in his car. It was dark.
It was the next afternoon. It was after number 1. Because number 1, we should also mention, was also your first, I guess we're going to call a BBC, right? Never been with a black dude.
Right.
And to us, it wasn't like a big deal.
Right. But like,
But apparently it was like a big deal to everybody else in the world, which we just didn't expect.
Right.
Which just one of those things that you just don't understand. The area that we grew up in was just, it just wasn't a big deal. I don't know. But that was a big blow up thing. And the guy that came later that afternoon was also a black dude.
Right.
And we had been talking to him. He was not a virgin. He was experienced.
Right.
He was coming from DC.
Yes.
And he knew that he had to fill out forms and all this kind of shit. Like I was very specific about it.
Because I guess before we never said, like, yes, we made them, like, send a picture or whatever, but we never, like, made them
send a picture of their ID to prove. Because the first time we were meeting was in a hotel.
Right.
So we weren't, like, as concerned with safety.
Right.
Once we started hosting in our home, we were like, you got to send your ID so I can make sure you're not a serial killer.
Right.
But I remember he showed up. I was outside smoking some weed, I think.
Yeah.
He rolled up. He was chill. We were talking for a minute. I was like, all right, let's go up. I take him up there. You're sitting on the couch. I'm like, all right, man, here's the forms. And he goes, I'm not filling out any forms. I don't feel comfortable with that. And he looks over at you and he goes, oh, man, she's so beautiful. Though.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
And I was like, all right, well, if you're not going to fill out forms, you got to go. I was like, we're not doing this. Like, that was
the deal.
That was the deal. He goes, oh, come on.
She's just so
Can't we
beautiful.
just have some fun with her? She's just so beautiful.
Like, look at her, just sitting right there. And I was like,
no, dude, if you're not going to fill out the forms, you got to go. And he was like, come on, really, man? I drove all the way here. And I was like, dude, see ya. And I
literally
escorted him out.
Yeah.
And then he's in the car in the parking lot being like, come on, please, can't we just... And I'm like, you fucking know, like...
Because I drove all the way here.
I don't give a fuck what you did. Like, we were very clear about what needed to be done.
Right.
Both in the post that you responded to and in the messages that I sent you. You were just hoping to get your dick wet.
Right. And then he was like, no, he said something. He was like, well, can I look at the forms? And you were like, they're just standard model release forms. You can look them up online or something like that. And then I guess he did, or I don't know. And then
he tried to come back. He was another one that kept trying to book back again. Yep. He made his... What was funny is, like, we released 2 videos from that weekend. We were supposed to have 12 or 10 or something. I don't remember what it was. But 2 videos ended up coming out from that weekend.
That were, like, not just like us, but like...
Yeah. And it was number 1 and then your first Hotwife experience.
Right.
And, I mean, they're obviously changed the course of our career.
Correct.
Because both of those, really, number 1, but your first Hotwife experience had its own special following, too. But number 1, for sure, like, that just kind of took off from there. And we were like, okay. And I remember being, after we'd made the first few sales on it, I think we made like $1,000 or something on OF.
Okay.
And I remember walking up to you. You were in the kitchen and you were doing dishes. And I was like, look at this shit. Okay. And it was our pending balance. And you were like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, all those people have bought that video.
Huh. I don't remember.
And you were like, wow. I was like, so maybe like the virgin thing is something we should do. Like, I was like, you were like, yeah, I mean, I didn't like, I liked it.
Right.
And I was like, all right, well, I mean, you want to set like a goal, like something we can like market towards? Like, is this like I was like, it feels kind of weird to be like, hey, we're going to be the virgin people.
Right.
I was like, I really don't want to like let that be a thing, but like, also, this is cool that we're making money from it. Do you want to set like a ridiculous goal? Which is what we do.
Yeah,
I just love setting
ridiculous
goals.
That's what he does.
And you were like, yeah, like what? 5? I was like, nah. Let's do 10 before the end of the year. And it was August.
It was August.
It was September, essentially.
Yeah.
So 10 virgins in 3 months. And
then we're like, if we make that, we'll do some ridiculous thing.
Which we didn't expect to make it.
Because we were like, there's no way 10 in 3 months. And
it's so hard to find them. Like, I don't think we realized how hard it was at first. But they started pouring in all of a sudden thanks to Reddit. And then we started like this like form thing where they could like fill out forms and we could pick them out from there.
Yeah.
But all that stuff costs money. And, you know, if we're not getting that kind of support, then I'm not going to, pay for it. So we just kind of like stopped and now we go find these virgins on our own.
Right.
And if you are a virgin listening to this story, I just want to reiterate again, do not fucking reach out to us on any of our paid platforms asking to collab.
Right.
If you do, you're getting blocked and you
just will not get the chance.
Blocked.
You're not going to get blocked.
I'm not going to block you. I'm going to take your fucking money.
But like, you're not going to get the chance because we're not allowed to do that on all those platforms.
Yeah, so. we don't mess around with that kind of stuff. Really, at this point, we know where to find them when we want them.
Right.
And when we feel like the community is ready for another one, we will do another one.
But
until then, we're just not going to because there's so much that goes into it.
And then for it to flop or
Yeah, and lately, like, we're just not selling a lot of stuff, right? So, I mean, if you're listening and you've been waiting to like buy some of these videos, now's the time, y'all. Like, come get them. They're selling like a lot of them discounted because the economy is such shit. I mean, really, our fans are just not spending. We understand everybody's going through rough times right now,
but it's tough selling them or putting them for like a crazy discount and then still not selling them, and you're just like, what the heck, like. But then, like, when you do sell one, you're like, wow, that's awesome. But, like, they got a really crazy deal. And I'm like, dang it. Like, but, like, obviously I'm glad to make a sale. But then also on the other side, yeah, you put it out, crazy discount, and then nothing. And you're like, well, damn. Like, what was wrong with this one? Like,
yeah. I mean, it's timing. I think, our messages definitely aren't getting to everybody either. No. There's a lot of things that are happening, I think, that are contributing to it, but
the downfall.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to listen to this one too and be like, hey, I want to get into hotwifing or any of that kind of stuff. Right. And I feel like that's another thing that maybe you and I should mention is like our stance on the definition of all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Because we're not really big into the labels, right?
Right.
Like, I know labels make things easier for marketing. So I guess if you're going to label me, you can label me for a marketing purpose. You know what I mean? But I don't want to take a label and just say, hey, yes, I'm owning that. Like,
right. Like, this is who I am through and through.
So like hotwife to me is a wife that will go off on her own typically.
Right.
So I don't really think of Steph as a hotwife because she doesn't want to go off on her own. She's not going to go and entertain somebody away from me. We work as a team.
Right. And he's always there. Like, it's not like, oh, okay, yes, I go off by like, we go to like a hotel and he like stays outside the door. No, he's in there filming. So it's not like he is there 100% of the time. So.
Yeah, if I want to join in, I join in. Right. There's never a point where somebody tells me, no, I can't fuck my wife.
Right. And if they do, they're probably going to get decked.
Yeah. Not that I'm that alpha.
No, but like... Yeah. You can't tell somebody, no, you can't fuck your wife. Or like, true.
But thankfully for them, I'm usually more concerned with getting the correct angle of the camera. Yes. But I don't think that is our definition. I think stag vixen kind of falls closer to that, idea of what we are. But still, marketing wise, that doesn't fit well. Like, you can't look stag vixen up very well on Pornhub. Well, there's just not a lot of stuff.
Doesn't really like work for like the like virgin stuff either.
Right. Hotwife works for the virgin stuff, I think. Like that kind of matches a little bit. Yeah.
But again,
I don't feel like I feel like that's a marketing term for us.
Right.
And then we also we use the term swingers for stuff, but you and I feel like we're not really swingers, right? Because like swingers, I feel like get really intimate with each other. You know what I mean? And we don't get intimate with the other people. I don't think we fuck other people.
Like, yes, we like having a connection, but we're not going to be like, let's do the pillow talk afterwards. It's just like, well, cool.
And I know not every swinger's like that, but there are a lot that are, kissy and
holding hands and like.
Yeah, and that
it's almost like a polyamorous, like.
It's like poly light,
right?
And I don't. It's not for us because like holding hands, honest to God, is almost like probably our ultimate love language,
right?
If we're thinking about
the touch in general.
Well, just in general, like and I know we don't do it on the podcast, obviously, because we both talk with our fucking hands so much. But we are all over the place. Always holding fucking hands. Right. Like we fall asleep holding hands. We hold hands in the car. Like,
right. Yeah.
It's just what we do. So I think another dude holding your hand would probably set me off more than another dude fucking you.
Right.
So, which sounds absurd. I know that sounds absurd, but like...
Well, I mean, it's kind of the same thing with like kissing. I'm not crazy about the kissing. Like, and I just kind of like, I mean... Like,
you don't typically mind if I'm kissing a girl.
Right.
You don't like kissing guys. You like kissing girls. Everybody likes kissing girls.
But I won't...
You don't like kissing other guys.
I don't know, but...
other dudes are aggressive too.
You can be, yeah. But like, I don't know. Like,
not that I know. I have no personal experience with kissing dudes.
But there's throw that out there. Other, like, terms and...
I think I had to yell that out to you the other day when we were talking about our job. I was like, just want to be clear, I do not suck dick. Anyway, we can't say their name anyway. I remember who it was. People we were talking to out in the Florida room.
Oh, yes.
I was like, just want to be clear, I do not suck dick for my job. And they were like, good for you?
They're like, glad you had to clarify that one. If you remember that.
I was drinking.
I know. Just funny.
I did want to clarify. I just wanted to make sure there was no confusion.
There was
I got nothing against people that suck dick. It is not for me.
Right.
I like having it sucked.
Digress so much.
You want to talk about how big it is now too, or should we? Okay, that's fine. So, if you were thinking about getting into the Hotwife lifestyle or something like that, what are some tips, to kind of get into for like a single guy? That's what I like to think of, because we get to ask that a lot, right? We have a lot of guys that come up to us and they're like, "Why aren't you interested in me?" We have a very specific type. Like, if you are not a virgin,
it's probably
it's really tough. Like, don't take it personal. First off, I don't find you attractive. So if you send me your fucking picture or a picture of your dick, you're immediately going to get disqualified, because I don't fucking care. Like, read the instructions, bro. Like, right. It's very clear that you're messaging me.
Right.
So that is an automatic no. If you are pushy, if you consistently ask after I've told you no to take your own pictures, that pisses me off. This is our livelihood.
Or to say, can I videotape it myself?
Yeah, that doesn't work.
No, this is our livelihood. It's not like you get a little free show on the side. Like, you are living the show, buddy. Like,
yeah, you're getting an experience of a lifetime. Please allow us to sell the footage
and to do it the correct way.
Yeah, so that we can keep your identity safe and, us out of trouble.
Or, we're not going to text it to you, or...
Yeah, like there's a lot that goes into this that I think people just need to understand. I really have to have your ID. You really have to sign our forms. You really are not going to be found out by people. Like,
and you have to trust.
You need to think how many people are in porn, first off. I've been in porn for 4 years, and more than half of the people in my life don't even know that I'm in porn still. You know what I mean? I've been in millions of views with you, right? We've had over 6 million views. It's all fucking deleted since I took it down, but
yeah,
we had over 6 million views on Pornhub,
right?
And I would say 90% of our group still did not know what we were doing,
right?
Right?
Or if they did, they never said anything. But like,
exactly. So I promise you, first off, you're probably not that special if you're talking to us,
right?
And second off, you're going to get covered in a sea of other dicks.
Right.
We're not going to show your face.
Especially like the ones that are all worried about their tattoos and stuff. I'm like, guys, like, again, probably going to be okay. Like, all my tattoos were out there. All your tattoos were out there. And again, our faces were out there. Nothing. So.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like, we're going to protect you. Remember, they're cattle. We give them a number.
Yep, that's it. Anyways, I think this is a good place to end it. If you guys want to see any of those videos, best place to find all of our links, virginitysnatchers.com. And that is the first Hotwife experience in version number 1. Those are both available on mini-vids right now. OnlyFans has the first Hotwife experience, right, but does not have versions 1, 2, or 3 or 14 right now. So the only place you can get that is mini-vids. It'll also be up on Fansly here soon.
Or clips for sale.
And clips for sale as well. So make sure you check those out. Please, guys, support the podcast. We could really use, any support that you can throw our way, whether it be
awkward pillows.
Yeah, more awkward pillows if you want to. You guys can make donations to our podcast if you would like through the red circle, which is at the bottom, I believe, in the description. There should be a link there for making a donation to our podcast. You can also just, go make a donation to Steph directly on her OnlyFans page. And if you do that, you will get a picture of her vagina back. Usually.
Maybe.
If she's in the mood. What else is there? I feel like there's something else that we're missing that we should mention. We are, waiting to do more stuff with Fire Body.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to that. I'm sure you guys heard the commercials for Fire Body and Nude and Popstar while you're listening to these, and they're going to keep changing. I'm playing around with the ad settings. So sorry in advance, but hey, if you do want to use any of those, please use our discount code.
Yes.
Nude nuudpleasures.com/ATalk, popstarlabs.com /awkward cum shots. And then firebody.com
FYR
/awkward talk.
Check it
And
out, guys.
the easiest way to get at those, just go to our website, virginitysnatchers.com.
They're all
Check
right
out those
there.
affiliates and just click away. We'll catch you next time. Thank you for listening. And go leave a review or like us or follow us or do whatever you got to do.
Give us some love, guys.
Give us some love. We need it.
All right. I'll catch you guys later.
Bye.